On Sunday, August 28th, 2022, Perfect Game is proud to announce that the 20th Perfect Game All-American Classic will author another chapter in baseball history, doing so at Chase Field in Phoenix, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. For nearly 2 decades, this unforgettable event has shaped the face of the game and will continue to do so for generations.
It was awesome just getting to the field that day and just walking in the clubhouse and all the players being in there like all-stars. Like this is legit. Me and my buddy Reese Hines in there, we're looking at each other like, wow, this is truly amazing.
The platform it has provided has launched 242 alumni into the first round of baseball's amateur draft, while seeing 235 that have lived their dreams into reality, reaching the peak, Major League Baseball.
It was just special to look back and be like, wow, there were 200 guys at this showcase, and we were the guys that made it out of everybody else, and we were the best in the country. So that was a great feeling to have that, and just people that think highly of us, think that we're this great of an athlete, this special of a prospect. To be able to make an impact in the MLB in the future, I think was really cool. And I think about it all the time. I go back to it, and I'm just grateful I was able to be in a position like that.
That was crushed to left field. Toward the wall it goes! Gone! The 20th Perfect Game All-American Classic. Watch on broadcast television and Perfect Game TV. Listen on MLB Network Radio. Enjoy the future of our amazing game. August 28th, Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona.
And that's what brings us here. We are certainly honored for those that are watching on YouTube, on Perfect Game TV, for the media members that are here as well. My name is Darren Sutton, and it's good to be home. It's good to be with a place that I have learned and grown as a broadcaster and a communicator within this stadium with the Diamondbacks, and to bring Perfect Game home with the 20th All-American Classic. I'll introduce you to some of the folks up front that we will hear from at our press conference. And again, thanks for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. On the far end, Jennifer Ford is the Executive Director of the Perfect Game Cares Foundation. Next to me is Brad Clement, the CEO of Perfect Game. We're going to introduce this man in just a minute. But next to him is Diamondbacks legend Luis Gonzalez, and a proud member of the PG Cares family as well. We see him at a lot of events. We look forward to hearing his thoughts as well. And then his 16th season on the far end, Executive Vice President of Business Ops and the Chief Revenue Officer, Cullen, Maxey. My name's Darren Sutton. I'm the Vice President of Communications and Content and the Executive Producer for Perfect Game. But more than anything, I'm just an amateur baseball lover, and this wonderful group of people have given me the platform for us to storytell and introduce you to the perfect journey for these athletes. So when you think about this game and its first 19 years, understand the first ever PG All-American Classic was in Fort Myers, Florida, at Hammond Stadium, where Nick Adenhart, the late Nick Adenhart, played in that game. Dexter Fowler was an All-American. Dexter Fowler is now retired. That's the history of this game. The game moved from Maryland. It moved back to Florida. It moved to California for a long time, but it's now home right here in Arizona. And really excited, one little stop along the way, the game continued in Oklahoma City during the pandemic of 2020. As safely as it could be held, the All-American Classic didn't miss a beat, raising funds and awareness, too, for the Perfect Game Cares Foundation. When you think about the Diamondbacks and why this relationship is kind of exciting, it goes both ways. There's some favorites that have played here. One of them currently, Madison Bumgarner, was a PG All-American, but Archie Bradley was a PG All-American. Matt Davidson was a PG All-American. Justin Upton was a Perfect Game All-American, and heck, if he could have been, he would have been twice, because he went to PG's National Showcase twice. He was always many beyond his years. And then you think about the current group, right? I mean, we watch very closely with Perfect Game these Diamondbacks, the number 1 prospect, Alek Thomas, PG All-American in 17. Corbin Carroll, number 2 prospect, PG All-American in 18. Jordan Lawler, the number 3 prospect, All-American in 2020. And we love A.J. Wykovich as well. He's in the top 10, PG All-American in 2019. That's this game, and we are certainly thrilled about the impact off the field that Jennifer will explain. We're certainly excited about the relationships that can grow on behalf of Perfect Game in the great state of Arizona. Look, I said it up there. There's actually a couple of more alumni that have been added. 237 major leaguers have played in this game, 242 first-round picks. There's about 100 active right now on Major League Baseball rosters. Some of the new ones we're excited about before those other Diamondbacks get here. Hunter Green, Bobby Witt, C.J. Abrams, the big names, the youth of the game. So that's why we're here. And these folks are going to explain the surroundings of the game. Again, it's good to have this game selfishly home. I know for Brad, it feels the same way. Brad is my mentor and certainly has been a big part of my career, but I think a lot of people with Perfect Game, I'd like to say us younger, but I don't look any younger than you, a lot of us younger people that are employed at Perfect Game owe a lot to Brad and the guidance he has provided. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of PG, Brad Clement.
Thank you, Darren. It is beyond a blessing to be here. And as Darren was talking about the history of it and all the players, and my goodness, it's the 20th year of the All-American Classic. I had to think back to our founder and still very active partner in this organization, Jerry Ford, when it was started in 1995. And I don't think an All-American Classic was even on the radar at that point in time, let alone all the numbers that you saw in the video and that Darren talked about. But one thing that still holds true, it was always the mission of Perfect Game to help grow the game by running high-quality events that would allow the players, the prospects, to achieve whatever their highest level is. And that has continued from 1995 to 2022 and will beyond. And there aren't a lot of those that are going to be playing on this field as major league players, but that's everyone's aspiration. So that growing the game and being able to get back home, as Darren said, with the Diamondbacks resonates with all of us. And I want to share, it takes a lot of people to put this on. First of all, our working relationship with the Diamondbacks has been great throughout and is going to flourish even more this year and beyond. But it's an unbelievable staff. We have a full-time staff of about 200 and an event staff in the thousands during the event season. So most of them are not here, but I do want to introduce a few people that aren't up here that are with us today. Marcus Wykovich, if you just stand or raise your hand, Marcus. Marcus is our Western Tournament Director, and part of the excitement of coming back here to the Valley is this is our Western Tournament hub. So not only are we bringing this home, it's going to allow us to grow and do many more things in the Valley and the western part of the United States under Marcus's direction. Steve Bana is our Senior Director. He's running the camera there, trying to make us all look good, which is somewhat difficult to do. But he's been with Perfect Game, worked with Perfect Game for years, and Tori Olivo is also with PG Media. So thank you for all of those. We couldn't do this without sponsors. It takes a big lift. We've talked about the partnership with the Diamondbacks, but we have a number of partners that for the prospects and all of the people coming here make Perfect Game and make the All-American Classic what it is. Rawlings, our exclusive equipment partner, is our longest term partner since about 2005. Augusta Sportswear, a relatively new partner in the last 4 years. Ucla, Yeti, G-Form, all of those and others will be providing gear and swag for the players that are selected for the All-American Classic. I also want to personally thank, we've got a great relationship with all of the MLB organizations, and as Darren mentioned, we were in California for years. The San Diego Padres, where this has been the last, 10, 12 years, Darren, fabulous organization. We love being at Petco Park, but as Darren said, it's great to be home with the Diamondbacks. Thank you.
It's been more than a decade since I sat up there and called games at Chase Field, but I love all 5 years plus of having the opportunity. And here's why it's fun, because the one thing I remember most about working for this organization was its keen awareness to the community that supports it. Now, not just those that have the money in the bank to buy season tickets, but those that are underserved, They continued to grow the game for my time, long before the PG Cares Foundation came into the Perfect Game world, long before I joined Perfect Game. And so the synergy is crazy in my mind when you put these two organizations together. The Diamondbacks Foundation, the D-backs give back attitude throughout this state, whether it be fields, whether it be equipment, whether it be clinics, whether it be teaching the game. That's nothing new here. They've been doing this for a long, long time. I was first party witness to it and loved every minute of seeing it. Now, with the Perfect Game Cares Foundation, the vision of Jerry Ford, the founder of Perfect Game, the synergy, as I said, is incredible. Look, Jerry Ford founded Perfect Game so the kids in a flyover state could get scouted. He founded Perfect Game so that a guy that plays in Iowa could go to USC. And the internet was going, that's why he did it. But he'll be clear now. I've got thousands of college players, thousands of MLB guys that have come through Perfect Game. My only legacy that I want to be remembered for is the Perfect Game Cares Foundation and providing access for those that are underserved. And it's in good hands, the PG Cares Foundation. The executive director of the PG Cares Foundation with some further thoughts. I'm sure she's going to acknowledge Debbie and how important she's been to all of us. It's amazing synergy. Here's Jen Ford.
Hi, so absolutely overwhelmed and joyful to be with you tonight. I first want to thank Darren for his kind words about my dad. You described it better than I could. Our foundation is not only a legacy to him, but I think a legacy to Perfect Game. I personally would like to thank our entire organization for the unwavering support that Perfect Game gives to our foundation and our initiatives. We absolutely could not do that without the support from the top all the way down to the bottom in our organization, so thank you. A few months ago, I had the fortune of meeting a very special woman. You know her as Deb, or Debbie. She's my new BFF. I told her I was going to say that from the podium. And I came out here merely to talk about our shared missions and our shared initiatives in working with underserved children, and what flourished from that conversation and developed between our organizations is really beautiful. So I would like to personally thank Derek and Cullen and Debbie and one of my best friends, Gonzo, who turns out for me anytime I ask him, and the entire D-backs organization, who have truly welcomed us with the most open arms to find a new home for the All-American Classic and all the amazing work that we'll do together. 15 years ago or so, Brad, you might have to correct me on that, Perfect Game decided that it was very important tied to this game to have a philanthropic cause, a fundraising initiative attached to this game. And years and years and years go by with that mindset, and the players will tell you that this was a launch pad for them to become more community focused and philanthropic in nature, and they leave this game with an immense appreciation for children, many of whom they will never meet. So this year, we have two amazing entities that will be at play as the beneficiaries of all of the fundraising, of the dinner, et cetera, et cetera. And one of them is our Grow the Game initiative that my co-workers, my teammates have mentioned, in growing the game of baseball and softball at every level for every child, regardless of their circumstances. We provide amazing opportunities for kids around the country and really look forward, Debbie, to what we can do here together in the Phoenix metropolitan area. And then there comes along a group that's so special and touches kids in such an amazing way that we absolutely so look forward to forging a new and hopefully long-standing partnership with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We hope to raise as much as possible so that we can grant as many wishes as possible from the proceeds of this fundraising initiative. A couple sort of housekeeping notes that I want to make sure to make everyone in the community aware of. In partnership with the Diamondbacks Foundation, we will be hosting on August 24th a free kids camp full of former Major League players right here at Chase Field. And then on August 25th, we are also extending that and doing a free professional coaches clinic for all local youth coaches as well. So we're really, really proud of both of those initiatives. We can't wait to see amazing Phoenix kids out on this field. Please feel free, I'm going to cut it short now, please feel free if you'd like any other additional information tied to the philanthropic causes of this game. Feel free to visit perfectgamecares.org, and we can't wait to see a whole bunch of Phoenix area families in the stands for this amazing game. Thank you.
It's kind of cool, these next two that are going to come up and speak. You know, for me, having known them, look, Gonzo and I called games in the booth together. He was heroic as a guy when I came in to call games, and revered. And I think what's been most fun about watching the guy who slugged 224 Diamondback home runs is not only does he continue to value this community more than anybody who's worn a uniform here, but he values the community around. For Jennifer, he and multiple athletes come around the country, Atlanta, Georgia, Tampa, Florida, just outside of the Trop for Perfect Games National Showcase, and the non-pretty field where the kids who couldn't afford maybe to play travel ball. Gonzo was there. And so, yeah, there's a very famous hit that we all know about, but he's more famous to these youngsters now for the impact that he has for them. And then right behind him, again, the heartbeat of this organization is Derek Hall, and it is Cullen Maxey, who is here, the Executive Vice President of Business Ops and the Chief Revenue Officer. Again, always in reconnecting in our conversations about this event, Cullen's always asking, how can we do more for the community? How can we leave this place a better place? If we're going to invite you into our world, PG, how can you help us leave it a better place? So we're first going to hear from Cullen, or I should say Gonzo, then we'll hear from Cullen, but excited to hear from both. Gonzo?
Thank you, Darren. It's finally here. I mean, it went back a couple months, well, maybe 4 or 5 months ago when I sat down and kind of talked to Jen and Brad, talking about a vision that I wanted to have this game moved over here to Arizona, and to finally have that, and talk to Cullen and Debbie and Derek and trying to nudge everybody to start leaning towards Arizona. I just felt like this was a perfect place to have this game. What a great opportunity for our organization to showcase not only our city but our ballpark, and to have the top players from around the country come here to play on this field and to play on a game which will be on MLB Network, and all the national exposure that these young men will have. And as we all know, the guys that play in this game are 2, maybe 3 years, if not sooner, to get to the major leagues. So it comes fast for a lot of these kids. And not only the fact that they get to play in this game, but it's an opportunity for them to go out in the community and to give back to our community through various charities that we have, which is very important to our organization and to Perfect Game Cares. So I am very thankful and blessed to be a part of both organizations and have them come together and meet here in Arizona for something like this. I am so thankful that we were able to work this out, and hopefully this will be a long-standing relationship. And I am thrilled and can't wait for the evening that this comes, when the players start coming to town and see the kind of show that we're able to put on for them, and they'll know that they're really in a big league city to enjoy this game. So thank you very much, Darren, for hosting this today here with us, and I'm looking forward to the game. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Gonzo. Thanks for the vision of bringing everybody together, all the parties. I think you really wanted to just see more offense, get it out of San Diego, put it in Chase Field. So we're happy to have it here. The ball flies a little bit better here. But Brad, Jen, thank you for trusting your brand that you've spent so much time and energy building with us. We could not be more excited about the partnership. And baseball's our life. You know, we understand that this, in the journey of a baseball player, now Chase Field, now the Arizona Diamondbacks might be in that equation. I think about little leaguers wanting to play and play in their first showcase and be a part of perfect game, and then doing that and then understanding the track. And your dream is, yes, I want to get to play at the collegiate level. I want to play in the major leagues. but it also starts with being identified. Perfect Game provides that platform like better than anyone else, like never before. But also they provide that vision of, if you get invited to play in an All-American game, in a national showcase, whatever it might be, well, that All-American Classic is now at Chase Field. So the D-backs now are part of the goal. Chase Field, getting to play at Chase Field is part of the goal. So it's not lost on us how important that is, and we thank you for that opportunity. We will make you proud. As we started to get to know each other, quickly understood how closely we were aligned on growing the game and giving back to the community. I think that we were just excited about that. We work closely with our baseball and softball community here. We have developed programs to underwrite the largest expenses for our little leagues in town. We have over 120 little leagues that wear free D-backs caps and jerseys through our D-backs Give Back youth jersey program. We have our Chase Your Dreams high school baseball program providing equipment and field repairs for some of the inner city schools that can't afford them. And we are excited that we now give them a chance to see the All-American Classic for free and be able to see kids there close in their own age that look like them and act like them on a showcase stage like this. And they might understand and be inspired that I can actually get to that point. We're also going to work closely on free clinics where we will be inviting kids in town from some of those areas that might not have the opportunities. It might be a little bit less fortunate where they can't participate in a showcase like this. We want them out here on this field before this event, and they get their own opportunity to see what it's like. And who knows, maybe we'll discover someone. So it is a big deal to us. And then, of course, the partnership with Make-A-Wish Foundation and delivering more baseball wishes by fundraising, our two brands fundraising together. That is something we take very seriously and we're very much looking forward to. So thank you so much for the opportunity, the trust in us. It's a long-term partnership, and we look forward to growing annually. Thank you.
And that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Amazing what Cullen just had to say there. That's why everyone with PG is very excited. You know, everyone with Perfect Game is really excited about the opportunity. Now, ultimately, and I push back some with our bosses when we talk about doing different initiatives and different partners. They're wonderful, but we're here for the athletes. We say the kids. He's not really a kid anymore. But certainly by introduction, the very first Perfect Game All-American, and there will be about 49 to 55 more of these talented players. But from Hamilton High School, a young man who plays for the Canes organization. He's a UCLA commit. Let's give a big round of applause. Roch Cholowsky, the first PG All-American in 2020. Congratulations, my friend. I'm going to give you a microphone. We're going to get to know you. This is wonderful stuff. Give it a little test for me.
Hello.
Yeah, you sound great. You sound great. So what did you know about this game? And I know your dad scouts for the Cincinnati Reds, and I know so you get the game at some level pretty much very deeply. But what do you know about this All-American Classic, Roch?
I kind of grew up watching it with my family and my friends. Like last year and the past couple of years, we've had some friends and close people to us that have made it and played on the game. So just kind of watching it and kind of having that be the dream has been a big part of it, trying to be there one day and just be like those kids.
You've decided to take on the kind of national travel circuit a little bit more this year. Why don't you expound upon that and how important it is after your junior year to do so?
Well, I mean, I really started off just kind of staying on the West Coast and just playing with my friends and trying to have fun around here. And growing up watching the game, I kind of realized that if I want to do that, I got to play against the best talent and get myself better and get more exposure. So, I mean, this past year I took on the summer circuit for the first time. Played in a couple tournaments and kind of got my name out there. And then the one big one was the underclass All-American in San Diego that really got my name out there.
And you performed well. You received a 10 grade underclass All-American, certainly. By the way, the number 1 ranked player in the state of Arizona in the 2023 class, number 22 player nationally. So this is a deserved opportunity for him. Tell me a little bit about why you chose John Savage in UCLA. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on out there, but why UCLA?
I was born in California, and we moved down here pretty early, but we always had family in LA. So just kind of growing up around that. And, I mean, he's one of the best. They've proven the past couple of years and for a lot of years that they're a top 25 team nationally. I mean, they've won a national championship. and it just feels like the program that fit right for me. So, I mean, right when he offered me and showed that he believed in me, I was all in.
So that tells me you don't flake out in the classroom, because you're not being invited to come to UCLA with a 1.8 and skipping the ACT. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your passion in the classroom and how you take care of business.
My parents have always been sure that I make sure that I'm a student before I'm an athlete.
Your mom Tika's right up there, by the way. Very good.
So always been A's and B's through since elementary up to now. Prepared big for the ACT. I mean, they threatened to take away baseball for me if my grades
good for them.
Weren't where they should be. So, I mean, thank you to them for that.
Outstanding.
Because, I mean, they're the reason that I'm here today.
Well, congratulations. That's, to me, is the most exciting part. I got two more for you. You ready? At the 2018 14U Memorial Day event, you played in a PG event. You had a couple of hits, you had a walk, you had a stolen base. You played for Evo Shields Sandlot. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's the team that I grew up with.
So you were 5'6", 110 when you played in that event. Those were the listings. That's 4 years ago. Tell me how much your game has grown since then, and what has helped your game grow. You obviously are passionate about the game at that age, but where's your game grown the most in those 4 years?
The IQ has gotten way higher than it was before, obviously. I mean, just kind of living in a house with a dad who works with it, sitting up talking with him at night about baseball, just kind of learning all I can, especially with him and his friends. The size came, which helped me a lot, but I mean, I pride myself in my IQ and just my passion for the game.
So your dad's a Reds employee, certainly, but this is your home stadium. How exciting is it for you to walk out there where so many big moments have happened, from World Series championships to All-Star games? How exciting is it going to be to play middle infield out there?
It's crazy. I mean, I was excited when I saw the game was moved to here. I was expecting to go to Tropicana and try out and sit there and hope I get an invitation to go to Petco, but when I saw I was in Arizona, I was pretty excited.
So when they called you, you said, okay, I'll come be an All-American?
Yeah, I was pretty excited.
All right, I'm not going to let you go, because Coach Woods would be very, very mad at me if I didn't have you sit up here and lift up what is one of the top high school programs nationally. We're lucky with Perfect Game. We get to know all you guys, from Orchard Lake St. Mary's outside of Detroit to Stoneman Douglas in Florida, and you guys. I mean, everyone talks about Hamilton. Talk a little bit about Coach Woods and your program.
Just kind of playing for him. This is my third year playing for him, and I've loved every minute of it. I mean, the program over there, all the coaching and all the players that come through it. I mean, it's just a grind. We work every day, and it shows. I mean, we're one of the best in the nation every year, and it's because of him and the players that come through it.
The first Perfect Game All-American. Big round of applause for Roch Cholowsky. So thank you guys. Thanks for being a part of this today. Certainly a lot of familiar faces for me out there. Thank you guys for coming out and being a part of this. August 28th, Chase Field. And again, as Jen said a couple of days prior to, what'd you say, Jen, the 24th, 25th? Free clinic out in this ballpark, and going to start giving a lot back to this community and helping the Diamondbacks do what they already do so well. Thank all my panelists up here, and thank all of you, those of you watching somewhere out there on the World Wide Web on Perfect Game TV. Perfect Game All-American Classic, August 28th, national TV, Sirius XM, MLB Network Radio, and Perfect Game TV. Have fun watching the Diamondbacks win tonight. Have a good night, everyone. On Sunday, August 28th, 2022, Perfect Game is proud to announce that the 20th Perfect Game All-American Classic will author another chapter in baseball history, doing so at Chase Field in Phoenix, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. For nearly 2 decades, this unforgettable event has shaped the face of the game and will continue to do so for generations.
It was awesome just getting to the field that day and just walking in the clubhouse and all the players being in there like all-stars. Like, this is legit. Me and my buddy Reese Hines in there, we were looking at each other like, wow, this is truly amazing.
The platform it has provided has launched 242 alumni into the first round of baseball's amateur draft, while seeing 235 that have lived their dreams into reality. reaching the peak, Major League Baseball.
It was just special to look back and be like, wow, there were 200 guys at this showcase, and we were the guys that made it out of everybody else, and we were the best in the country. So that was a great feeling to have that, and just people that think highly of us, think that we're this great of an athlete, this special of a prospect. To be able to make an impact in the MLB in the future, I think was really cool. And I think about it all the time. I go back to it, and I'm just grateful I was able to be in a position like that.
That one's crushed to left field. Toward the wall it goes! Gone! The 20th Perfect Game All-American Classic. Watch on broadcast television and Perfect Game TV. Listen on MLB Network Radio. Enjoy the future of our amazing game. August 28th, Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona.